Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. This will also be out as the weekly outlook. So please, if you're watching this video for the very first time, please go look at some more of my videos and share it. My name is Annie Mangal. For those who don't know, I assume most of the people who watch it already knows. And for those YouTube viewers who normally get the full content, if this one is not everything that we normally do, please join our live sessions. You will get it, because I'm not feeling that well today, so I might cut short some parts of it. Let's hope I can give you everything. So let's start. We're going to go with the dollar index, and the dollar index, as you can see, last week we were looking at that curve, and normally when you get that curve, you either get a much longer, deeper correction or a reversal. We weren't expecting a reversal, and this might be the indication that we're starting the downside, because this would be the point if they want to reverse, where you'll start to see that reversal happening, right? And there was enough reason to say, well, okay, look, you see what happened? It's dying out. The downwards momentum is dying out. Now you're going to see it go back up. Well, you can see it's not, but we can make an assumption that we do have a deeper correction. Now it all will depends on how we look at this entire piece, and even whether that piece is finished. Because we don't know that. We can't confirm that whatever that is, it's finished. Now, these could each be separate small corrections in a channel like. Instead of a curve happening here, you might see this part. Remember, we looked at this, right? This was the impulse. This came down slow, that went up, but this didn't break the top. But this one went now and broke the top. So can we look at this as a flat like that? If that's a flat, then this one is actually dropping, which means all of this will belongs to the up move coming down, right? And this would simply mean these are smaller corrections or one running flat, something like that. So we can figure that out once we see that. But from here, once we start breaking that low, we're going to assume that this is going to continue to go, right? Which means every time we see a flag or a correction, we're going to sell. So I wasn't here on Friday, and I noticed it started to drop. I'm not sure there will be a sell. Maybe this is a news-driven. If it was news-driven, we'd probably trade it, but I don't see any sell set up, at least not on the 1 hour until this one. And that probably would not be something you'll sell in a move like this. Even this is not something you'll sell in a move like this. So when you get a move that size, what you'll probably wait for now is a correction. Because if you don't, you might see this go right back up. So selling these small flags would be a little dangerous. What I think we should wait for is let it make a correction, because there's a lot of sharp moves that reverses themselves. All right, see this one, for example, see that sharp move up and then it dropped there, then they go right back up. So the series of those can happen, especially when you're making this change in direction or channeling for deeper correction like this. So I think we should wait on this to make a correction, starting from there, let it go, make a deeper correction, and then we go for the sell. We're looking for a sell. If we're going to get a buy, it has to probably tag the low. Let's see which one is the lowest. Yeah, this is the lowest. It has to tag this low again. Let's say we're still in that channel, right? What we expect it to do. Now, put this here. Put it back. Trying to get it to set correct. It will have to tag this low here and then go back up, but most likely break the low, because every time they drop, they break the low. So we can take this out. This would not be that effective right now. Take that out. So we'll see if we break this low again, and if and when we do, if it's going to reverse, go back up, stay within that consolidation, or if it's just going to keep dropping. In any case, you still need a flag. Selling at the bottom of a move like that is really dangerous without a correction. Silver, we're still in the down move here. We haven't broken out as yet. See this correction, and I don't think this would go up, because even it doesn't matter how you look at this piece, there actually isn't enough. This is just one single move. Even if we put it with this one, I don't know. I don't think we can really do that, but yeah, we could come back to whether that's an expanding flat. If we go with an expanding flat, then let's get a flag here, and then we go for that move. So let's see in the 1 hour, let's see what we have in the lower time frame. Not much. And this move is not very aggressive. So I think we will definitely need a flag. Any buy you buy here has to give you a flag. Wait for this to make a correction. They normally do. You get a correction like that. So let's let this thing prove they're actually good, because we could still be in this sideways here. Can this drop? Absolutely. It doesn't matter that it goes that high. See, this is very slow. So the possibility of it dropping or going up, exit. To buy, wait for a flag. Let's get a flag and then we go for the buy. Sell, this would be an easier one. If this drops here and make a small flag, we go for the sell. Any small flag, with any 1 hour 50 minutes flag, we can go for the sell. Wait for a good correction for the buy. Because I think we still have divergence, right? There's still a lot of divergence in the 1 hour. But this is the crossover. On the 1 hour, you still have a lot of divergence between this and this. So the best thing would be to wait for a correction before we go. So probably today, we're not going to get much trade. Let me see this on the 15. Probably don't risk the 15 minutes sell. There's a 15-minute small flag there. If you take it, especially my traders, if you want to trade this in the 15-minute small flag, just be very, very careful. Use a tight stop, use a small trade, and see how deep they pull back. Because even if they're still going up, there's a good chance that, you know, this could kind of drop here and then go. So you could get a trade. But if this climbs up here, then just ignore it. It will make a flag, go and go and go, and then we'll see where that goes. You can buy the smaller ones at the top. You can sell, but you can't buy it. So we'll wait for the correction for the buy and consider if you want to take an aggressive sell. Did we break the top? I think this one broke the top, yeah. And we were trying to get this to break out, to drop and then go. This probably would have been a buy. Right. If any one of you guys took this trade, that's great. That was a good one. If anybody took that trade, that's amazing. So let's see what we have here. Take this out. Well, this is still going up. I think there's no reason why they should come back. We already looked at it. It's probably not going to come back. Even if they come back, it'll just be a deeper correction. And we could be heading for the top. So very likely we will go break the top. And this might be the low. This one, I think this one here, yeah, this here might be the low, and we could go. There could be a deeper pullback somewhere because the does make a lot, even in the impulse, there was a lot of deep pullback at points. But that's not a guarantee. So any correction we get in the 1 hour, we'll take the trade to the upside. And this is enough of a correction. That's not, you see, we were looking for this to go up. So this is enough of a correction of its own. If we get a correction there, we can buy. Selling it would be an aggressive move if you want. There's an aggressive sell if you want, very aggressive. And it's short term. So we're looking more for buy setups. So this can go. And the funny thing about it is that, remember last year, some people were already panicking and wondering if this is going to fall forever. I think that was a point where I had to spend many time answering the same question. Would gold drop from here? And like, nope, it wouldn't, because this is a flat, and flat means we're going to go back up. See? So the same thing, regardless of what's happening in the world. And the one guy who was screaming about, well, this is going to go to heaven because there's a war, and then it came down back. Well, I don't know. There's still a war going on. And it went up and it came down and it's going back up. And all of that has nothing to do with why this happened. Right? Because most of the time when this happened, that's about making money and less about what's happening in the, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for flags and buy. Any short-term sell, just be careful with it, right? It's still possible, just be careful. I don't see any right now. Let's go. Euro. Yep. Drop, came back up. Wait for a flag. We will break out of this, and that means we're going to go up. And this could also mean that we're going up. I think we were here when I left Thursday. This didn't do anything much. It came down a little lower than this point, and then go back up. So nothing in the pattern change, and it's total upside. And it is a bigger one, not as big as this. We'll have to see which one. No, I think this one would be a bigger one. Which means we'll see if we get still have divergence. If when we broke out, if we still have divergence here, it means eventually you're going to still have a much deeper one, right? Well, we can trade it until we get divergence. Looks like there might be divergence. So the question is if we're going to break out here. Do we have a flag? We have 3 hours. I don't think that's enough. No, we don't have enough reason to buy it there. Definitely not there. This probably could have been a buy here. And if 1 hour, yeah, you probably could buy here. But buying an oak there is not a good idea. Wait for a bigger correction. Wait for a flag or something that makes sense. Because this is a sharp move. They will correct it before they go. So we're waiting for buy setups. Can it come back to the bottom? Well, that'll just make the pattern more complex. But I don't see any reason for that because this correction here is pretty telling, right? There's no reason for, this is a sharp move and this is a sharp move. So there's no reason for anything complex. You kind of get a clear 1, 2, 3. This is a 3-wave structure. And now we go up. So all we have to do is get a correction here. And that would be a good buy. If it goes out, let it go out without you. If this has to go out as a spike out of the structure, better to let it spike because if you buy here, your stop has to be here. And if you're going to buy here with the intention of putting a stop just under one of those candles, well, you're risking too much. Chances are you would lose that trade. It's not worth chasing. Just wait for it. Pong? Yeah, this one just got worse, right? This didn't get better. Let's see how we're going to look at this. Like that. We know Pong is going up, right? The question is where we get in. It's always about where you get in. I wasn't here Friday, but let me see if there was any. This was news driven. Anyone of you guys were there? Was this like a news driven movement up there?
Yes, that's the news.
They move it during the news, right? So if you guys are trading during the news, Pong would definitely be a buy. I'd always go with a buy in the Pong after this correction, right? So let's wait. Let this pull back, make corrections, make flags, then we go. You can't jump in at the top there. That doesn't make sense because this is one impulse. So we wait for it to correct and then we go for it. And it's already out of the bigger correction. So safe one to go with. I'm trying to see if all of this, yeah, we could do this is a correction here of its own too. That's a correction of its own. So pretty normal. I don't think this can all go in one correction, but we can relook at it and see whether that fits. And this is more like a 1, 2, 3 drop. We look at it, but it's going up now, and that's the main thing. Try to wait for correction buy. Aussie. The sell didn't go as low as we expected, but worst case is you get break even. Most likely you should have closed the trade somewhere in here. So let's take this out and go up. Well, we can go with that. That would be more of a contracting flat from that point. I think we're out of the correction already, so we'll have to go with a contracting flat in this one, which would be something like this. I really don't like that. Not much more options on that one. That's the only one I see because we do have this big flat in the middle here, right? So we'll always have to go where the big flat is. And there's no other option for that. So we'll stick with that for now, unless it becomes more complex. Same thing. Again, here you'd have to wait for a flag. So let's get flags, we buy. This probably going up to much more. Let's see what happens. Go back to the 1 hour. And let's wait and see. Do we have divergence in the okay, we have divergence only in this piece, but then the last piece there's no divergence. This is the internal one. We're looking from this one. Nope, we don't have divergence there. Let's see if this keeps growing, because with this piece there's still some divergence. It's in the 4 hour. See the 4 hour, there's showing no divergence in here, but even in this piece, you do have divergence only from this one, and that divergence is not going away. which is, we have to keep an eye on that. Because they can just break the top, and then drop, retest the low, especially if this stays here. All right, so we're keeping an eye on that. Wait for a flag, take the trade, move your stops, and manage the trade. So we'll see where we go from there, right? So wait for it. Again, the only thing you probably would have got if you were here earlier was no trade. I wouldn't take this as a flag, and there's no reason to take this. So wait for flags. I think patience today, this week might be the same thing. Wait, because all of these can reverse. Right? They're not going with the price is moving, but the magnet is showing you there's not very strong momentum upwards. So let's wait some more. 1 second, guys. Okay, let's go. New Zealand. Broke out also. Well, New Zealand barely tipped the low, so this one is perfect. Wait for correction buy. I think this one is a little strange with this move. Because this move is a little sharp. This move here is a little sharp, and this looks corrective. So if we're making an expanding flat here, there's a high probability this could come back here before they go. Because we did drop. This one actually came here, drop, go back up. And that doesn't fit. This is correction, right? So there's nothing to fit with this here. So if you're going to buy here, be very careful. Make sure you get the flag that you can use to put break even. Even if it's moving up without you, let it move. Wait for the flag. Because you're just going to be tempting yourself into trouble. CAD. Okay. That's a deep pullback. CAD might be a surprise for us. We're expecting a flat there, but not such a deep pullback into it. Because if they pull back so deep into it, it means we probably will be making one big consolidation here. And this whole thing here becomes one big consolidation. Definitely not a reversal, but a big consolidation. If it's an impulsive move up, why do we have a big consolidation there? Right now, this would either have to be a big impulse going up, or a correction, a 1, 2, 3 and drop. And neither of those scenario, big consolidation here is not very clear. So let's wait and see. We'll go back to the 1 hour. They're definitely not selling this at the bottom here. And if you sold that small one, you better get it to break even. This has to pull back and make a flag before we decide we're going to go and sell. This was what we were trying to sell this piece. This probably would have even been a risky buy, not probably something we take, right? Because there's a flag here, but when you have this move, the thought process, they'll just break that up and then come retest this low, which is what they did. They broke, went up, come back, retest the low. Now, from this point, it should go back up. So we can look for buy setups rather than sell setups. If it drops, it drops. If this keeps dropping, the only way you want to sell it is let it make a deep pullback like this and then go for the trade. Because from this point, this should go up. So look for buy setups. Let's wait and see if we get any buy setups. Swiss. Okay, we're looking for a flat here. It went and it broke the top. So it's kind of a flat. Take this off. Might end up being some kind of an expanding flat here. If this is the low, that's a sharp move. You get 1, 2, 3. I don't think this is it, because this can be the correction, right? This single one here is not going to be the correction. Most likely this one here could be the correction. So I'm thinking most likely something like this. And then go back up. Even if it's just one big correction, go back up from there, make a big flat, and then come down. I'd go back, come here, go back there, and then come down. This would be a bigger correction like that. That would make more sense, because right now, if this is the drop, we are left with where do we put this piece? Let's go back on the 1 hour and see. I'll take both of these out. Since the CAD looks more upside, it gives the CAD more consolidation, so that looks more upside. Look for buy setup somewhere here. Swiss, not so much. Let's see what yen says. But this could go back up because this definitely looks more like a flat. This is the low going up. So let's say if you start to see buy setups, like it goes up, make a flag, we look for the buy as well. To sell it, you'll probably have to have a bigger correction. And yen. Yen might be the only one that looks downside because we're in this channel. Right? It looks more like a channel pattern going down. So the only question we'll have here, this is a 1, 2, 3 down, is whether this starting to become complex, right? Before coming back here. So if we get a flag here, we're selling. We're not really looking for buy on the yen, even if it is going to go up. We rather buy the CAD or the Swiss. But if this starts to make a consolidation here, we're going for the sell. If this is one single sharp move, if this in any case is going to go back up, then this would be more of a corrective part, come back here and then go up. Right? This would be something like that. Because this would be your first impulse. And what we're looking for is something with a lot of consolidation already, which is the CAD. So any buy setup, go for the CAD. Any sell, go for the yen. I think we just skip all the yen pair, all the yen pairs. So let me take a quick look. I don't see anything that's super interested in them right now, so we'll skip all of that because I don't think I'll have the energy to go through all of them. And let's see what else we want to record for YouTube. I think the last time I didn't do a lot of the stocks and the cryptos, so I'll just do the stocks and the cryptos, record it, and then we'll stop the recording and I'll come back to you guys and we look for trade setups on the other pairs. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you may want to know, we're in the trading room recording and the discussion is with my traders. So if you want to have the entire thing live, send me a Skype message and you'll know how to join and get it on live. But next time, I hope I can do it for you. This time, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well. Let's go. Let's run through some of these. Let's start with where we are. Natural gas. More downside. I think this is just going to keep dropping. And once we're out of that structure, we're just going to keep dropping. So look for more sell setups. Maybe deeper correction, but right now, no. Right now, it looks like more downside. USR, it's consolidating, so that would give you a drop. This one is much easier. UKR, same thing, consolidating, so you'll probably get a drop. Take that out. If you sold, you get break even. Let's put it like this now. That consolidation could give you at least one drop, and then we'll see how deep that goes. S&P 500. Still a sell setup. That has not changed. Actually, try to sell it from the top. Wait, go wait for this to come down now. Get a flag from the top and sell. This is a perfect sell setup, guys. This is a giveaway. I mean, if this thing goes up, here's the deal. If this thing spike up to the top here, forget about it. Don't try to get that. Don't try to say, look, we're gonna get that buy. But if it drops, you must get the sell. Because we know these patterns. 1, 2, 3. This is a known pattern to us. We know the probability of that happening. What if it doesn't happen our way? Well, that's okay. Don't be worried about what you miss in that case. But if it goes the way you expect it to go, because you know that pattern and it's behaving exactly the way you want it to behave, well, then that's a problem. And then you should be worried that we got, because sometimes you see that, but then it doesn't go. Here's a good example. We saw this. And we thought this one would probably come here and then maybe come down from that point. But instead it dropped. So if you didn't get this trade, absolutely no need to worry. It just didn't behave the way you wanted. You got this one, you got this one, and we got a dozen of them more coming down because those behave the way we expect them. So if this is going to go back up, you'd have to make sure that you get a flag somewhere here and then decide to go for a buy, which would be strange, right? Like in this case, that eventually fits in with the entire bigger structure. And probably the same would happen here. So let's look for the sell. Let me go to this, same thing here. Let's put it in the 1 hour. This came pretty, but this was Thursday. I hope you guys took that off. Got it from somewhere else. It didn't break the low. I think we're still pretty much there. Let's see if we can get a sell set up from here. It's even better for the sell now. And US 30. Same thing. We wanted to go break the top. They broke the top. Don't try to sell it from the bottom here. It's far away. Let's see if we can get it in the trading room from the top coming down. Right. Because we've got a very nice impulse. The bigger picture is clear. And yeah, they can go lower. So we'll see where that leads us. DAX retest the top. Okay. So let's take this out and see what happens. Well, we still have this sharp one. So even if DAX is going to go up from here, let's assume for a second that that's not the running flat. Let's assume this is not the running flat and they're trying to go up. Well, somehow that was the end of the whole structure. This here was the end of the structure. Take this out. Let's take this out. I wouldn't put that flat as it. Let's say this is the end of the structure and we're trying to go back to the top. It still has to come back. Because you have one that's sharp. You're getting this. They will have to come back here, complete the flat, and then go. It always does. If you look at the amount of time they do that, they come back and then go. They pull back and then go. So you end up with these flats before they go. So unless we get a flat here, buying at the top is dangerous. Buying this at the top here would be very, very dangerous. So it broke the top, wait for it to come back here or see if we get a sell back to this level and then buy again. Just wait for that. Same here. Okay, this kind of came down. This still is downside. Oh, this stayed here for a lot of time. So even if you sold it, you probably got out for positive. It becomes a flat. That's one more up. Still looks like a sell to me on the bigger picture, right? So on the bigger picture, if you trade this, you'll still probably want to wait for that. The big structure hasn't changed, right? And as a matter of fact, you got more divergence internally here. Nifty. Okay, finally, you might be getting a flat here, which means that would mean downside more. Bitcoin. Okay, we're still in the consolidation. Nothing much changed in the crypto. There's some movement short term. Those who trade short term 5 minutes and all of that, there's some movement, but nothing much. It's not spiking. Traders like to say it's spiking, and then you show them the big chart, so there's no spike anywhere. Because one guy wrote me, he said, hey, this thing is spiking. What should I do? I think he saw this piece in a 5 minutes or something like that. I don't know where he saw the spike, but somewhere he saw a spike in this. I think maybe this is what he's calling a spike, right? Depending on where you look at. But in a 1 minute, you'll probably see it's going to heaven. But then you have to look, look in perspective. Where are you in the bigger picture? Well, you're still in the consolidation. Which means in any previous consolidation, you had bigger moves than that, right? This one, look at the size of these moves. Look at the size of these one. They still drop. So I don't think this is going up as yet. Structurally, there's no reason for it to go up. If this was the low, we'd be going up all the way. We wouldn't get this drop, right? So I think that it could stay here. This could become a bigger correction of some kind, but eventually break the low there. So it's not ready for the upside as yet. Let's see. I don't see a structural way where this go up right now. It could come within this range, yes. Can it stay within this range here? Possible. I don't know what the final pattern would be as yet, but so far this piece here does look like it could drop one more. So we'll just wait. There's no long-term buy or medium-term buy setup. Short-term, definitely you'll need a flag before you buy, and there's no flag there to buy. Let me go into 1 hour. There's no flag to buy anything there. And even this wasn't the buy flag. So probably stay away from it. Ethereum, I'm just going to do a couple of them. This one had a buy setup if you want short term. This would be a small short term buy setup. This would have been a buy setup short term, but then the big picture is still correction. Right? We're still in the correction. Okay. And this can go up, but not from this point. Because you had this move, you got this, you get that, you get this. We never broke the low. All of this is within this piece. So at some point, it has to break the low, and then we look for that move. So I can see this going up. I just can't see it going up from this point. Can it come and retest this top here? Yeah, absolutely. There's no point in that right now. I don't see that making just a more complex structure than. We could probably look at this as a flat in the middle, maybe. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and this one is a slow move up there, and then drop, break below, and then go back up. Let's wait and see. This short term, if you're trying to trade this, yeah, if you get another flag, you can buy to break this top. But long term, I don't think we'll probably stay with that buy. This one also is kind of pushing up, but it's still a correction, right? So I don't see any buy setup in it. XRP, no buy setup. You might be getting one farming here now that finishes, but let's see what it looks like in the 1 hour. If this wick is real, then how low did it go? Well, we still haven't broken this low. But if they want to stay in this range, we haven't broken this low, I think. I was still within it, but this could go back up to this level here and then drop. Right? So if you look at it that way, right, then if you're looking at it this way, and from this point, they decide to go back up. Let's go in the 4 hour. And if we look at it like this, and this came down as a correction like this, and from this point decide to go back up, yes, a buy setup here is not a bad idea. If you get a buy setup here, it work its way back to the top. So this might be a more reliable buy setup if it happens, because this is not exactly dropping as an impulse after this one, right? This one is going, so this could just be one big correction here. LTC. Come here, break the top, and you're still in this, whatever this is doing here. Correction, and then still has to drop here. Can it crawl up this slow back all the way to the top? Well, it can, but I don't see that possibility right now. We'll have to wait and see if we get something good here. So I don't think we're going to go through more of them. I might not be able to. It's pretty much the same thing on all of them. So once again, my apologies to the YouTube public. You guys, but you can have the entire thing twice daily for live, and you get all the charts you want to look. So no excuses, right? Just send me a Skype message and you get access. A lot of the guys were already in are pretty happy about it. Give it a try. Actually, one guy just paid for 1 month just as trial, and he was already paying out the full because he wants to learn this stuff. He was very persistent about learning it because I was sick, and he was like, "You're gonna answer me," and I eventually had to answer him this morning and apologize that I was sick, because that's how much he wants to learn this stuff. Right? I didn't think he get the message that I was sick. So okay, what are we gonna do is we're gonna stop the recording. Yeah, to my YouTube friends, trade with care, and please share the video. I would see all of you next week, and if you would want to get into this every day and see the entire thing live, just join us.